Welcome back to the NITE Economics YouTube channel, and tonight we're going to be looking at Bitcoin. Can it recover the 50-week simple moving average, or are we inbound for a big rejection back down to the lows and possibly create new lows in the next couple of weeks and months to come? Again, if you're liking the content, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and without any more pauses or any more interruptions, let's get into tonight's video. So right now, Bitcoin as of August 28th. So we're about to finish this month in 2 days and 12 hours. And as of right now, Bitcoin is sitting just below 80,000 US dollars. We're sitting at 79,540 bucks, give or take, 79,500 bucks. As you could see here, and hopefully this color is visible. So this blue line here represents the 50-week simple moving average. And as you could see right now, not only is it being held below, so it hasn't even reached the previous high here set on the previous higher low set here in pretty much the early May. It's also being rejected at the 50-week simple moving average, right? So Bitcoin created a high, I think this was yesterday or 2 days ago, of 81,473. And guess where the simple moving average is currently sitting at right now? It's about 81,100, give or take. So essentially, it got rejected there. So that is not a good sign for Bitcoin, especially if the low is in and if we're expecting some follow through in this move to the upside in the next week or two. And I think this move really needs to happen in the next week, preferably the next week, but it might even, if this doesn't happen in 2 weeks, I think a reversal is imminent. As you can see here, the 2 week price chart over here, Bitcoin is about to close in the next 2 days and 12 hours. This candle's about to close, and I mean it's had an amazing run, but I'm a little bit hesitant to really jump on the bull market has begun, because I still think it's a bit early, and until it doesn't really recover and has significant follow through, that's the important part. Like, it has a fairly decent rally, and I would say like very close to this previous high here, and if not take it on, get back into 100,000 territory, I'm going to be skeptical of this current move. I think that it's a fake out. I think it's a bull trap. If I'm wrong, fantastic. I have no problems being wrong. But until that is the case, I'm going to defer to the 4-year cycles as my base case as to why we are still currently in a bear market. And the bear market, let's turn that off. I turn off. And the bear market's still going to be going until later, like Q3, end of Q3, early Q4 of this year. So let's take a look at an interesting observation. So as you can see here, Bitcoin in this early run that it had back in 2011. No, not 2011. Is this correct? September 2011? This can't be correct. Bitcoin didn't exist then. Yeah, okay, yeah, no. I'm sorry. I thought 2001, 2011. So here, Bitcoin fell below the 50-week simple moving average, and then it recovered it. So it's very interesting here. It recovered it here. And mind you, Bitcoin back then was $7. Imagine $7 Bitcoin now. Anyway, so it recovered the 50-week simple moving average, but then it quickly fell below. And as you can see, it wasn't like maybe it was a massive move. See, it recovered it here, give or take. So then it moved another, well, that is a massive move. It moved another 30% to the upside before getting rejected. And this is very early in Bitcoin's price history. But anyways, it got rejected, lived under there for a bit, and then it truly recovered in the following year in 2012. And then it was on and up to the right until it started closing below. And its first true bear market, which I would say was here in 2014. It fell below it for August 2014, and it finally got back above it over here in October 2015. So just over a year It lived underneath the 50-week simple moving average. And as you can see, we're kind of like in a similar situation here where we're kind of being held under the on a weekly basis under the 50-week simple moving average. So this is important for Bitcoin to recover in order for me to become a believer that the low is in essentially, and the low can very well be in. Obviously, I can't say with 100% certainty that we will have another low, but I think there will be a retest of the lows for sure. And my base case, again, if you want to know what it is the Bitcoin bottoming formula part 2. I'll put a link in the cards somewhere up here, and you guys could check it out. So, anyways, you could see here Bitcoin fell underneath the 50-week simple moving average here back May 21st, 2018. Retested it, got rejected, moved sideways, and nothing happened. Then a significant move to the downside. Low was in later on in the year, December 2018, and then in the next half a year or so, it finally broke out, got back above it, and the rest is history. And then we had this little inter bear market here within a bull market, if you will, here of 2019. That some people say it's very similar to what happened in our current bull market, or the past bull market that we just came out of, topped on apathy rather than euphoria. But anyways, you can see here came down in early 2019, or I guess, or late 2019, bounced off the 50-week simple moving average. Then we had the Corona time down below, and it worked its way back up. And then, so during a bear market or a bull market, it uses as support, as you could see here, bounced off of it several times. I don't think it actually closed under. It might have closed here under, but then it recovered. It might have closed one candle below the 50-week simple moving average, and then it quickly recovered here, used it as support, got a high. Then once it breaks down, it's like a confirmation of a bear market. Once it breaks down below the 50-week simple moving average, you could see here. So you could see here it fell below in, I guess, December 2021, marked the beginning of the bear market. Many people were still holding out that the bull market was, so marked the beginning of the bear market. People were holding out that the bull market was still on. You could see you got a first real rejection here early on in that bear market, and then it fell to the lows, and I guess the low was somewhere in here, November 2022. Again, this is Q4 of that year, of the midterm presidential election year. I guess it's not presidential. I guess it's like their house and their whatever, that other body of government that they have over there in the United States. Anyways, it got back above here in 2023, so the next year. So it'd be the pre-halving year, and then it's using it as support all the way through, as you could see. And then we finally most recently fell underneath it in November 2025, and we have been below it ever since. And now it's using it. It's actually finding resistance here for the first time this week. Finally got up to the 50-week simple moving average, and it hasn't broken above it. I would say that it needs to what's the word I'm looking for? But it needs to break through significantly. It needs to have significant follow through, like here, right? You have, it breaks out, and it's well above the 50-week simple moving average here. Like it's 23%, and then it goes higher, and it pulls back some, but it's continually breaking up above it. Like you have this section here where, like, initially the first candle is huge, you're significantly higher above the 50-week simple moving average, and then you have follow through later on in the year, right? And you have lots of examples of this, right? Like here's another example, right? Here, if you could see, it breaks through, and then it has follow through. Yeah, there's a pullback, but then it goes to higher highs. Then you have the late 2019, early 2020 fiasco going on, right? Almost all of the significant ones. Look, you have significant breakout to the upside, right? Like it moves, it gets. Price action gets a lot of distance from the 50-week simple moving average. Here's an almost 100%, 95% move to the upside. Sure, you have a big retracement, but you have this convincing move to the upside, telling us that the bear market is over, right? Here too. I mean, this one's probably not as important, This is like its first. The first real one is this one, right? We only really had only 3 real examples, but even here too, right? You had a massive move to the upside. It's week after week after week after week, and right now we're not seeing that. We're essentially seeing that we're getting rejected. Although I mean, there's still 2 days or so left in this week, right? Yeah, there's 2 days left in this week. It closes on Sunday. So we need to see. Like, I mean, it's not over yet for Bitcoin, but I think it really does need to break out now. Let's see what the BBWP is expanding to the upside. That's interesting. We're having, and look, so I spoke I don't know if I spoke about this in one of my other YouTube channels, but look, if it doesn't if it doesn't break out here, we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drives of bearish divergence. And I think like Bitcoin needs to significantly break above this line here. So like above, like give or take 52, almost 53% here on the RSI, in order for it not to have essentially 3 to 4. I would say 5, 1, 2, 3, 5 drives of bearish divergence, especially if it gets rejected here and it confirms this bearish divergence. Like, so let's just say it closes more or less here, and then the next week it gets rejected, and obviously the RSI comes down, then I think we can expect volatility. If it keeps expanding, we could expect a move down to the downside in the next couple of months, right? So yeah, Bitcoin needs to really show what it's made out of right now, especially going into the next week. It needs to go to the upside with some conviction, if you will, for me to be really change my tune on this channel and to really say, you know what, the bear market's over, the low is in, and we could expect higher prices to come. I do look forward to that period. I'm a big long-term Bitcoin bull. So just to be clear, I love Bitcoin. I would like to buy more. But I think, right now it's better to be cautious. Although buying some Bitcoin at 80,000 bucks is not necessarily a bad idea. Although I do think we have more lower price actions to come later on this year. So again, guys, that's all I have for tonight's video. If you're liking the content, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like. If you dislike the content, you disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below why you disagree with me. I'd love to have a friendly conversation about it. And yeah, that's all I have for tonight's video. I'll see you guys on the next nightly video. Take care and bye for now.